What is happening in the Loki series? It's the third episode, meaning we have reached the midpoint of the season, and yet I am unable to understand what is going on. There are so many things we still don't know. Other than that, the Loki series is a very fun experience. Although I must say, just like WandaVision episode 4, they have changed the narrative in this third episode and I am loving it. Before I start the breakdown, just a reminder, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon to be notified whenever I post a new video. I'll be doing weekly breakdown of all Loki episodes. Thanks. Okay. There are two sides to every war. The reason people fight is because both sides believe they are the right ones. So if you truly want to understand the reason for war, you must know both sides clearly with an unbiased view. This is what the series has been doing thus far. The first episode was to reintroduce us to the person from whose point of view we will witness the situation. The second episode was to know the TVA's side. Similarly, the third one is to understand Sylvie's side. Sylvie is the female version of Loki. I know you know that, still. To make it an unbiased view, we see a lot less of TVA in this episode. Now, before we talk about Sylvie, let's talk about our main Loki, that is variant L1130. What makes him the perfect person to understand both sides? You see, despite being on a moon far from TVA, Loki still wears the TVA outfit, including the variant jacket. He can use his magic to wear something else, but doesn't. As we have seen, Loki has accepted TVA to be the greatest power of the universe. He might not trust the Timekeepers, those space lizards, but he believes in the cause of protecting the sacred timeline, or at least wants to rule the greatest power of the universe. Meanwhile, there are two statements made by Loki in the previous episode that indicate that he is the best person from TVA to understand Sylvie. One is when he said,
"Trust is for children and dogs. There's only one person you can trust.
Yourself?"
So what he means is only a Loki can understand and possibly trust a Loki. Another being,
but no one bad is ever truly bad. And no one good is ever truly good.
He didn't say that in defense of Sylvie. Rather, it's a comment on how people always misjudged him throughout his life. I've talked more about it in the recap video for Loki. Now, if you want to truly know someone, that is a stranger, in a short period of time, it is suggested that you take an adventurous trip with that person, preferably to a place unknown and unsafe that takes both of you out of your comfort zone and puts the truest version of yourself on display. So, both the Lokis landing on an apocalyptic event like on Lamentis 1 is a perfect setting. The next thing is for the Loki to understand this female version of himself and perhaps even trust her if her intentions are justified. That's what we get to see unfold throughout the episode. We don't get a proper flashback backstory in this episode. Rather, we get bits of differences between the Lokis through conversations. Like, she didn't have Frigga in her life, the person closest to our Loki. She was told she was adopted instead of accidentally learning about it. Also, she has been on a run from TVA almost her entire life. This has shaped her life differently. It has made her cynical and paranoid. This satisfies the knowing part. Now, the trusting part. The bond of trust between two people is strongest when it is mutual. This happens when you are honest with each other, even vulnerable at times. This is what Loki does while talking about love. Externally, Loki might be the god of mischief. He does mischievous things to push people away. But on the inside, he's alone, craving for a connection that is true. Whether he expects that from Sylvie and in which form, only time will tell. Now, I want to ask a question. Did you feel something inconsistent with the Sylvie's character? In the first 2 episodes, she is portrayed as a cold-blooded killer, but now we are seeing a different side to her. I think we all can relate to that. Looking into your past, you must have that one person you were scared of. That is until you talk to them and realize that they aren't bad at all. The same goes with Sylvie. But she has killed people, you might say. She has, but so has our Loki. Also, the people she killed were all TVA personnel, all variants, all cosmic mistakes waiting to be erased. So she might not have felt any guilt killing them, especially with the mission on her mind. That's it. Hence, the events unfold as they do. Both Lokis start trusting each other as they fight together while slowly approaching the Ark. There is one interesting point where Loki reverses time to put back a collapsing building. Some might suggest that Loki used a time stone to do that, which he might have taken in the first episode. The problem is, even though we don't see it, we can hear him put back the stone. Also, later, Hunter B-15 disintegrates the drawer with all the Infinity Stones in it. So how did he do it? Perhaps it's his magic. It stems from the fact that Frigga once told Loki that he can do anything. Finally, how do they escape from the moon now that the Ark is destroyed and the Tempath is also crushed into pieces? That's the easiest part. In one of the conversations, Loki specifically says,
"So you're going to use that tactical advantage to kill me when the TVA shows up."
Worried, are you?
he said when, not if. Maybe Loki left a note for Mobius on his locker when he went to retrieve his daggers. That's it. That's my breakdown for Loki episode 3. To end this video, I want to say that I have heard people call this episode uneventful and a waste of time. To them, all I can say is, sure, but I don't see this episode that way. What do you think? Please share your thoughts in the comments down below. Also, please like and subscribe. And remember, world building is so fantastic that I am a fanatic. Thank you.